guys, thank you for joining me for part 2 of this video. If you haven't seen part 1, ensure you check it out. If you have, sit back and enjoy the concluding video.
What I wanted to really know is, what are the general requirements from your bank? Do you have to have a savings account with them? How long do you need to be saving with them? Is there any time stipulation, anything like that?
Okay, all right, so all of that, as it relates to how long, whether or not you have an account, whether or not you are, probably banking with them. So the primary focus is your ability to repay the loan. All right, that is the major factor that will determine whether or not you are granted the mortgage. That's a major thing. Your affordability. We also look at your credit history. So if it is that you have had bad repayment history on facilities that you might have had in the past, then that might be a bit of a challenge. All right, so the bank will probably suggest ways in which you can, remedy your credit history, and of course, institute ways to prevent you from falling within that trap again. So they might ask, for example, if it is that you have had, slow payments in the past, or, you were delinquent on a loan, they will look at your behavior towards that. Did you eventually clear that loan? Is the balance still outstanding? If it is that you have cleared that debt, then the bank will, probably grant the loan, with certain conditions. All right, so we're going to grant you the loan. However, you need to, the repayment method must be salary deduction, or you set up a standing order on your account. So once your salary comes in, then the monthly payment is taken from that. Or they might say, okay, you need to pay a month upfront, so that, should in case anything happens, then you are always a month ahead with the mortgage. So it's not cast in stone, and the financial institutions, they're quite flexible, and they will work with each individual to ensure that, they help you in the home ownership process.
Because I think a lot of people just have it in mind that, the system is against them, and there's no way that I'm going to be able to own my own home. But I think it all goes back to you just educating yourself. And if you really want it, you're going to make it happen.
Right.
So I think, and the bank will try their best to make it happen with you as well, from what you're saying.
Absolutely, absolutely. But just to point out though, also, because home ownership, it's a large purchase. So maybe it is that your current income cannot afford a mortgage. However, persons can look at ways in which they can increase their income. And at this stage that we're at now, during this pandemic, you find that a lot of persons now realize that they really need to have something that they can fall back on. So let's say you go into your financial institution and they say, okay, based on your income right now, we would not be able to facilitate you getting a mortgage. No, your income needs to be, at a certain level. Persons can look at ways in which they can earn additional income so that they achieve the goal of home ownership. So you might have a business that you do, but guess what? It's cash intensive, and you don't pass that funds through an account. The bank has no way of knowing how much it is that you're earning. So persons can start passing, every cash that you get, passing through an account. Sometimes we have remittances coming in from overseas. Sign up through Western Union or MoneyGram and let the individual send it straight to your account. You might, do hair, you might do nails, and you're paid cash. You pass that cash through the account, so you can, when you approach your banker, we look at your account activity, and we can do an average to say, you know what, every 6 months you have an average of 90,000 passing through your account, for example, and this we can use as additional income.
Yes.
And a lot of persons really do have additional income, but
But
we have no
consider
record.
it, because even the remittance thing,
Yes.
majority of Jamaicans are getting remittance, and I guess they never ever thought about it like that.
There you go.
Yes.
There you go.
And I'm glad you touch on remittance. I feel like you're just flowing in, because now I have a lot of persons who are overseas and they're really interested in purchasing properties in Jamaica, but they're wondering, are they able to get mortgages while living overseas? Are they able to access Jamaican mortgages?
Absolutely. So we love the diaspora. We want them to own a piece of Jamaica, and so we have extended the process of home ownership. Yes, if you are a Jamaican and you reside overseas, you work overseas, yes, you can purchase a property in Jamaica. The process is pretty easy. What it will be required is the same documents. And what I can probably do right now is just run through the documents that are required, the basic documents that are required to get you a pre-qualification letter.
And this is for both overseas,
For both local and overseas.
Okay.
Alright, so for persons that are employed, we would take your job letter, your last 3 months payslip, government issued ID along with your TRN, statements on any existing loans or credit cards that you might have. So those are the basic requirements, and of course we pull your credit report. Now the credit bureau fee varies depending on the financial institution that you're using. So you can probably look at credit bureau maybe up, and maximum amount of maybe up to $3,000 to pull the credit report.
And that's 3,000 Jamaica.
Up to, because I don't know what the other institutions are offering.
Yeah.
But I'm just giving you an idea. So it goes up to $3,000 to pull your credit report. All right, so let me run through again. So your job letter, your last 3 months pay slip, government issued ID. If you're not using your driver's license, then
You need a
you need a TRN card, proof of address, and statements on any existing loans that you might have. And of course, you would need to pay for the credit bureau check, which is up to 3,000 Jamaican dollars. It's the same thing that is required for the overseas persons, and we will require a credit bureau check from overseas,
country,
right? From their
yes.
credit bureau overseas. All right, for self-employed persons, of course, you are not left out, of course, you need to purchase property, you need to own a piece of Jamaica as well. So it's the same documents, but of course you would not have a job letter. So we take audited financial statements and we look at your account activity as well.
Okay.
Alright.
So that is why it's so important for persons to try to just, even if you put the money right in there and then you go take it back home, try every single dollar that you get. If you're a hairdresser, if you do nails, anything that you do that you're just getting that cash flow, you just always ensure that you are putting it in the bank, that the bank can see that she's earning X or he's earning Y. And so I also wanted to touch on the fees associated with when you have found that dream home now, and you have the letter and everything, you have the pre-approval letter, what are the fees associated with the purchase of that property?
Okay, great. All right, so I am happy that you touched on that. All right, so let us talk about the deposit first.
Yes.
Let's talk about the deposit. All right, so we know that you know, NHT give one individual up to 6.5, and for their scheme that they are building, right, you can get even up to 100% financing. All right, so 2 persons joining can get up to 13 million.
Yes.
You know, if it is that they qualify for the maximum. All right, and we know that on average now, new builds, new houses that are being built now ranges anywhere from about 13,
yes,
up to about 15, thereabout, you know, or more.
Yes.
So pretty much you will realize that there is a shortfall. Because if you do a quick assessment on the recent properties that NHD have put out on the market, they are above 13 million.
Yes, it was
right.
The most recent was Twickenham Blades, and Twickenham Blades was going for 13.7 to 14 million.
There you go. So if 2 persons, you know, join together and they can get the maximum of 6.5, that's 13 million. You're still short 750,000. And I know that NHT, you know, so they do offer 100% financing
on their scheme.
And so on, you know, but home ownership it requires some money. You have to have some money. All right, you cannot just wake up this morning and you say, oh, I am going to purchase a property and I'm going to go to NHD or the bank. They give 100% financing and I'm good. I qualify for 100% financing, but you know, I don't have the money in my savings account, but they say I qualify and I'm going. You know, you need some monies. All right, so after you have been pre-qualified, you've got me your pre-qual letter. Now I'm now gonna speak as a realtor. All right, so you know you have gone to your financial institution and you know exactly how much it is that you are qualified for. All right, so you're now gonna approach your realtor, and your realtor is there to hold your hand and guide you along. All right, so when you approach your realtor, you present your pre-qualification letter and you also present proof of deposit, because you cannot submit an offer without your pre-qualification letter and evidence that you have at least your deposit.
Yes.
All right, so usually 10% is what is required on the open market, so you need to have at least your 10%.
Yes, so
guys,
if that is $10 million, you need to have $1 million.
$1 million, right? You need to have $1 million saved up. And you need some more than $1 million, because we're looking at fees as well and the other costs associated with the purchase. And that can probably run you maybe another 10%.
Wow.
You know, so you're looking at getting your valuation done, your surveyor's reports, and of course you're looking at your lawyer's fee, you're looking at your bank processing fees, you're looking at paying, you know, your transfer tax and all of those. So it involves some additional costs, and depending on the unit that you're buying into, there might also be escalation. There might be escalation. So I would safely say that you at least need to have 20% in order, right? 20% of what the property is being sold for to cover your deposits and all your fees, your attorney's fees and so on.
And I know it may sound a bit overwhelming, but as we know how important home ownership is, and if this is something that you really, really want, you're going to try your utmost to go ahead and get it. Nothing should stand in your way. So you just have to start being a habitual saver, going ahead and look at weeding out things that are not important, because a lot of things that we spend money on is not of utmost importance. So if this is something important to you, you have to make it important. You have to go ahead and just weed out additional costs, go ahead and do some aggressive saving, join a partner, do something that is saving you and not costing you. Yeah, and I just want to leave with this though, Nicole. Any further advice that you may have for anyone anyone that is watching this video and they're just really hopeful to start the journey, but they're having a lot of doubts and they're saying maybe the rental, staying in the rental property a lot easier than this. Any further advice that you may have to for that person?
All right, so home ownership is a great thing, and I'm sure most persons aspire to own their own home. You know, it's a wonderful feeling when you're a home owner, and it's a great investment. As a matter of fact, it's the only investment, I'm gonna go out there on a limb right now and say this, that it's the only investment that, you know, doesn't depreciate. You buy a car, you know, a lot of persons say, okay, I'm gonna get the car before I purchase the home, because it's much harder to get the home than it is to, you know, probably get a car. And I will not say, you know, one or the other is most important. It depends on the individual, because depending on maybe the kind of job that you do, having the car first might help you to earn more, you know, so that you can purchase that dream home. You know, so it depends again. If it is that you live with your parents, you know, you can save that money that you would probably use to pay for a car loan. You know, you're living with your parents, you know, save up that money that you would use to pay a car loan, so that you can save towards having your deposit. All right, so let me just backtrack a bit, because I want to ensure that we have covered everything, and I want after this video you feel equipped, you feel empowered, you know, you're ready to go and approach a financial institution to get that pre-qualification letter. You know, you can also reach out to Adrienne, and she will provide you with my contact details. You know, so I would be more than happy to assist anyone out there who is, you know, need more information and you are ready to go, you're ready to take the plunge. All right, so I did mention that after you have been pre-qualified, you have your pre-qual letter, you have your deposit, you can now approach your realtor. So what your realtor will do is basically look for properties for you, and it's at absolutely no cost to you, required at the end of the process. All right, before we issue the letter of undertaking, and the letter of undertaking is the bank saying to the vendor, the person selling, that hey, we will pay over this money to you, so you can go ahead and transfer the title into Adrienne's name. You know, so you should have the processing fee by the time you get to, you know, the closing of the loan. So you have a little time. All right.
Yeah, so I'm sure, guys, if you have made it, I mean, we've been here for half an hour. Time really flies when you're having fun. Okay. So, guys, if you've made it to the end of the video, I know that you're somebody that is really committed to making that dream a reality. As Nicole said, I'll have all her information. It will be listed. You can go ahead and give her a call. She is very helpful. She will literally hold your hand throughout this process, and she will ensure that that dream is a reality. But thank you so much for watching, guys. Nicole, thank you so much for being here. And just continue. So just continue watching, guys, for more information on how to just make our dreams reality and ensuring that we're doing that in the best way we can. Have a great day.
All right. Thanks again.